Since we've been in the area, we've noticed occasionally there's been someone keeping an eye out. I've had a number of people give me information that they've went out into the area. They've noticed people have appeared and observed them or looked for them, tried to observe them, kind of like just parked, got out, watched, looked over the area with binoculars. We've had a couple of our own incidents with this where someone seems to be keeping an eye out. What are you doing? And then as soon as you note their presence in the area, they suddenly decide they need to leave the area and you don't see them again. I find it interesting that the areas we're in have that label of the areas of the Black Legion, and it's something we've wanted to look into even deeper. The story of, we have the spiritual side story of non-physical beings, and then we have the very physical presence of a almost referred to militia group. And Mesquite Flat, where we're at, is one of the areas. A Dutch hunter, well known to many people out of Canada, I believe. This is the area he saw a number of them in black walking across Mesquite Flat in this general area, and they seemed to be just having some sort of single-minded purpose, but he wasn't sure about the direction, and he just noticed them in passing. And a lot of times when this does happen, you look out, you think, and then later you're thinking, man, I wish I would have pulled over and kind of got a bearing on where this is or what's going on in here. Whether these groups are looking at certain sites, protecting sites, it could be something ceremonial. We never know, and no one ever seems to run into anybody interconnected. It could be completely, wholly unrelated and coincidental. And it's been something we've wanted to look into further.
Okay.
So what we get from a lot of people is, oh, there's no such thing. And then we get from other people, we've definitely had something. We've seen someone that seems to be like this. There's a few stories I've had where a handprint is left on the vehicle or something, signifying that this group has been there. We've wanted to try to look into it more about the possibility of the myth of it. Where did this name come from? How did it come out? We seem to be able to trace it back to the time of Ed Piper. There's a number of people who have shared stories from back in the 50s and 60s concerning this. And there's always been the stories of some of the missing persons and the deaths in the mountains that go back into the 50s, the 40s, even to the 30s that could be attached to these, whether it's fairly or unfairly. I think it's something we definitely always want to keep in mind. It can be a hostile place. People can feel that they have some sort of ownership over a particular idea and of where something might be, and they don't like you to encroach upon that. There are people that right now, presently, are not very happy with our presence in a couple different areas. We aren't definitely stepping on their toes in any reason or legal way or anything, and anything we would be doing was unknowingly because of them. And we always kind of go to sources to ask people, is like, well, do you know anybody, or is this an area because of this? Would we, are we intruding on someone else? We've always been cautious of that. But you still return back to that area. And Mesquite Flat has that presence, that area. I know S.D. Conister in her book made the reference. It has a map going back between Mesquite Flat and Black Cross Butte of an area called Skeleton Canyon. That's where the treasure of the Black Legion's buried. We've never really followed that up, but it's one of those references, again, to that area, to the Black Legion, and on all that and such. And we've always found that kind of mysterious and odd, between having to deal with the government, the federal government, telling us you can't go past this point, and this area is off limits. Homeland Security telling us we need to stay out of here or there. And then we have this group or something happening within these areas. And if it was something ceremonial or something like that, I would hope someone would find a way just to quietly just tell us, hey, it's a phone call, it's a message, it's just someone's saying, hey, heads up, guys, we know you don't mean any disrespect, but that's, this area, presently this situation is kind of intrusive upon this. And we would definitely respect that. We're not going to take someone pointing a finger at us and telling us to get out very kindly. if they're just being simply rude, because, like I said, everything's going to be unintentional. But the Black Legion aspect of it, it intrigues me and Frank, because as much as we want to set it aside to myth, we want to just consider it a mythology and try to understand it, where it came from and why it flowered and became what it was, I think we're really more interested in is why does it seem to have a handle on it, and why are we starting to see physical manifestations in the area of these things. It's not something we expected. It's not something I'd ever dealt with before, but it's something presently that's happening. I think it's absolutely interesting, intriguing, and you know, when it comes to having another mystery to be solved, Frank and I are willing to take it on. We want to know what's the answer behind all this. Who truly are the Black Legion? So, Frank has a site that he's very interested in up out on Mesquite Flats. He said there was some similar stuff that we'd seen in other areas, and he thought it might correlate. He also said there was a spring and a group of petroglyphs in the area. So, we're going to go out and take a look at that site and kind of see what's there. It's along an old mining trail, mining road. So I believe there's a prospect or a mine up at the top of the road, according to Frank. Okay.
It's been like 500 years. There's two roads. There's this one, and then I think this one up there, but it's the wash is just right off one road, and it goes up. I know it's not on there.
There's no road that way. Turn around 10 more times, you're still not going to be able to.
Wait, let me look up there real quick. I think I might be here.
What are we doing?
We're waiting here while Frank tries to figure out the spot. He exactly knows where it's at from 5 years ago, but he seems to have no idea what he's talking about right now. I have faith. See, he already turned around and is coming back. Seems determined. I'm just not sure what it means. Well,
Gotta be it.
of course, we have to go back the way we came from. There we go.
Are you saying you took your truck up through here?
Yeah, I can see it widening out up here. Here's where your road branches. Guilty.
I stepped in that.
Stepped in the coyote feces?
Yes, I was trying to watch this and then I stepped in it. I think I missed it actually. I think I just barely touched it. I don't really know.
It didn't take long to realize Frank had no idea of where he was going. It's a little funny. It got warm out, but it's just watching his body language. You can tell his sense of direction's gone. He thinks the road's going this way. No, it goes that way. I suddenly, from his description of the area, it doesn't even remotely fit the area we're walking into. And it's a constant change of directions, watching him wander off one direction, come back, wander off another direction. I just have a feeling his recollection of the area is at fault presently.
Right. Where are we exactly going?
pretty sure this is it. Darn, party also probably said, I think we'll make the pass this winter. The second words from them were, yeah, I'm sure we have enough meat. So you don't know where it's at.
We'll go back down here to the road and go up the little way. I have, in one of my GPS units, I have the exact coordinates for it.
You need to bring that GPS unit. All right. Do you want to go back to the road we were on? But that's the road we were on right there.
Yeah, just go for now.
I don't have to say a word. He has no idea. No idea. He has absolutely no idea where he's at. Yep. And what's this road go to, Frank?
Over the top, there's a dam up there, and it also leads to a census spot.
This was the last group. All that's left is bleached bones. Bleached bones from the last party you led through here. It's just right over there.
This is too narrow here.
It's just going to get more narrow. And
It's one of these coming down. Let's see, we got three of them. We got one over there, one here, one over here.
I don't even know what to say at this point. He's gonna just keep going. Yeah, we're halfway up the mountain. So what was it about earlier when you guys got up by the tree? And I kept doing thumbs up to him, and then he came back and said, yeah, that's it. And then he said, there's no writing on the tree.
I don't know.
Why did he say, yeah, that's it, and then told me there's no writing on the tree, though? So, because we're looking for the tree with writing, so it can't be it.
He's gone now.
Yeah, he'll come back. I have the keys. So, you guys want to go for lunch?
Yeah.
No, Tyler. We gotta get something to drink. So, chill out. Not quite sure how far up he just wants to go. It's nice out here.
I can still hear him going.
What?
I can hear him going still.
But there's no reason to go because I don't think he knows which wash it's in. He's checked 4 washes already. It's coming back. I would say where would they be? Why would they be in here? It would be more likely over that way, where there was the harder rock and there was cover and shelter.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
would
thinking
think.
too.
You were not.
Well, no, I thought it would be over there.
Yeah, fuck this. I want to get the corners out of my,
I'm going to say it's over that way for some reason. Because there's more rock shelter or something. It doesn't make sense here. This is just going up the incline. They're just deep channels, but where would they be coming from? Why would they be working this way up?
up on top there, there's a dam, small dam.
Yeah.
And a channel that feeds down from that goes through some rocks,
Yeah.
goes over a drop, and underneath there's a hidden large waterfall.
Yeah.
And all around through that area, there's grind holes.
All right, so it's up there more. Right?
It's better if I just get the exact coordinates.
Glad you
I'm
brought.
not wandering around this hillside. But it was to the left of the road. One of them.
Okay.
One time, after the volcano had like a dam going across there, and this whole thing was a huge lake. And then that thing bust loose and
Where's the seashells?
a lake from a volcano. You
You never heard the story that there's back in here somewhere there's a Spanish galleon? Ever heard that story? It's an actual story.
How did it get her?
This is back when there was like really deep water, and it
Well, it
came up.
must have been really.
Came up through the Gulf when it came up, and the Salt River current came up, and there was
Oh, they came up over the mountain, over Tortilla Flat.
Yeah, and
Haven't you seen Peter Pan? They make a ship fly. That's how it got here.
Ship, supposedly there was a port back in here. And, supposedly, these are the people that believe in the stone maps and the Jesuits. So let's just figure that, right? So
You know where the other
that's their
port is?
tale.
It's in my asshole.
That's stuff we can't use. The Lost Spanish Galleon ship in the Superstition Mountains. They're
You
not
know what?
in any way in our way. So
I
it doesn't
wondered.
matter.
I really wondered why I found an anchor back here one day.
Yeah.
Huh? A little Spanish anchor.
Now, if they really want to turn it into a story, they turn it into a Portuguese ships. And it was the Templars. And it was part of their fleet, and they brought their treasure back. But I was told recently it's not here, it's actually possibly in the Grand Canyon. I had no clue where this place really is. It's in a wash somewhere. Off this road.
From it, there's something wash. We just said it's one.
2, it's not all flat. We've been going
So it is down in the wash. Road runs off to the left because it's on the hill. You can see there's a number of roads going up. I had the exact coordinates.
That's the size of the Spanish Navy. Just saying. That's all the stone maps. They know exactly where it's at. And they've detected and shown that it's there. And they can't get to it because the government won't let them dig there. And there you go. Who was running cattle up there?
On top of the hill, they built a dam.
Okay, who built the dam?
Some rancher.
Okay.
The dam is all filled up with silt. But that's what the road was for. I mean, it's cattle.
Okay. But what are the grinding holes for?
That was from back before our Indian tour.
Well, why were they doing it up high?
The reason they did it back there is a permanent water holdup.
You just decided, I think, that we didn't do enough walking over here. You decided you needed to do this.
It's not like you don't need a little bit of exercise there, Wayne Bo.
I just eat.
Huh?
Don't matter what I do, I'm just going to eat.
You don't know that jump to
Wayne Bow?
What's your new name, Wayne Bo?
Okay, you're Franken.
You didn't like the dude.
I'm not sure who Wainbow is. Frank seems to be coming up with new nicknames every couple of months. Currently, I'm Wainbow. We've edited out Dude for the most part. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess I'll start referring to Frank as Francisco again, and just kind of go along with it. But yeah, I don't know about the Wainbow, and I'm not sure about the need for exercise, especially when we're not sure where we're going.
Going back to earlier, though, I still don't understand why people put some camp right next to the road. Like the highway. So you can hear everybody driving by. Riding across the bridge, driving through here. And can't you just sit in the backyard? Pick that up, Tyler. Pick that up. Don't see anything like that, right? Do you?
No.
No, we're not going down that road now.
Yeah, over here in the camper, you camp right here in the middle of the squad.
It's only if you're nuts. You have some sort of strange life. This is crazy the way they run this rope off.
Yeah.
What is this rope for?
Well, to keep people out of a lot of the stuff. From tearing everything up. For the animals and the plants. People camping here, trampling, tearing stuff up. It gets so bad. You have to do this to keep them off of stuff. Otherwise, it'll just be all like this.
So,
Frank heard a car door.
who's that Indian?
obviously I want to come back and look at the area. There's a story there. Frank has visited a site. The site does exist there. Looking at the terrain, I had a pretty good idea of where he might have gone wrong after we got to some higher elevation. I'm going to want to look at some maps, probably some satellite imagery, kind of look at the area a little better. The area we were going into, it just didn't seem to fit with some of what he said. I'm not sure how far he would have went the last time as well. It seemed like we were gaining higher elevation and leaving the area. So I do want to come back. I do want to check the area. I know there's supposed to be petroglyphs, grinding holes, a number of different things in the area that would hold interest to us. And we found other sites like that. I haven't found any reference to it from anyone else. So it's definitely, it's always, you know, when you're on a trip, there's always side trips, and sometimes side trips can give you a gift. And this is an area, since we're probably within, you know, a couple square miles of the areas we've been searching, it's good to search the area and know more about the area. Let's try this again.